All right, a pleasant good morning to you and Merry Christmas from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Night Moves. I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining me here for our special show here at midnight in Las Vegas, 3 a.m. out east. Hopefully, you're getting ready for a great day with your loved ones and also a little sports action on Thanksgiving. Maybe we can package a few parlays up, and hand them out as gifts here with our NBA and NHL card. We had NBA and NBA and NFL card. We'll make up some other sports to have for Thursday, and it was Mele Kalikimaka for the Hawaii Rainbows there on Christmas Eve. How about that game? We had one game, unless you like the African Cup of Nations earlier today, but the one game was a good one. No panic when it was 21-0, right? If you're the Hawaii Rainbows and Timmy Chang, and turned out to be looked like an old shootout between the two quarterbacks, the former Hawaii quarterbacks there, with Rolovich coaching for Cal. They had a coaching change there late in the season without their coach leaving, and good game, man. The Hawaii backup quarterback there, forgive me on his name, but threw a 20-yard touchdown pass with 10 seconds left to give Hawaii the win. 35-31. Cal led 21 nothing with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Cal got a touchdown there. They still trailed big time at halftime, but Sagapolatelli threw for 343 yards and a touchdown for Cal. But hey, they came back behind their offense, and Ashlock there, 14 receptions, 123 yards, two touchdowns. And yeah, Hawaii had the two quarterbacks kind of going there a little bit, even though Starter kept getting his helmet off there, but hey, allow the backup there to come in, and it was by design there on that final touchdown. But you knew Hawaii is going to come back there at home to beat Cal in the Hawaii Bowl, 35-31. Hope you guys had the winner there yesterday. I had the winner over at Tony'sPicks.com, as I went with the Hawaii Rainbows. Wasn't easy, but they got it done there yesterday, and should be a good day over at Tony'sPicks.com, where you can check out our premium picks for the action here on Thursday, December 25th. Merry Christmas. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out our premium picks on the big games tomorrow. We got 8 games, so you know what the handicappers are going to be up to tomorrow when it comes to tomorrow's action here at Tony's Picks. You can check out our best bets over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages. A few guys had the win there yesterday. Maybe we can look at all of them there. I don't think the short scoreboard will tell the story here with Al in there, and Justin as well. And let's see who else. Let's go to the wide shot of the handicappers. Maybe that can show us there which guys had it yesterday, right? Uh, Tony was on the winner. We don't. I was on the winner. Doubles there on the winner. Rod, Al, Justin, Ron all came through with winners on Christmas Eve in the big game. That was a fun time there last night. Hopefully, you got a chance to check out that action, because it definitely at least lived up to the billing there in an over, of course. Thank you for joining me here. We got a dozen of you here so far checking me out. Maybe we can give it another minute or two, see here who's going to join us. Want to say hello to Timmy Tushu in the chat. Merry Christmas there. Cal sucks. He says Cal sucks. Hey, you know what they did? You know what Cal needed they got the ball back, right? They needed the band on the field. They needed the maybe the Hawaii band to go on the field, and maybe they could have run the greatest, like the play. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, maybe they could have had the play too yesterday. And want to say hello to Lex in the chat as well. Hello to Lex. All right. I'll just get started here. I mean, we've got 8 games, and why not talk about them? Why not get started with the show here? I'm not going to be here very long. Hey, we want to make it off at if you want a sporting event, there's one that starts in about a little less than 90 minutes. The Australian NBL tonight will be maybe another game you can watch while you're getting your gifts wrapped and making sure Santa's got those cookies out. And there'll be a game coming up actually in just a short bit. And Australia, if that floats your boat, between the Breakers and the Jack Jumpers. So check that one out here in about. And if you want to watch it, it's on the NBA app. Actually, if you really need a game here in the middle of the night because there's no sports and you've been hankering for some action, check it out. Just get out the NBA app, and at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, you got the Australian NBL with actually it's the Hawks in Sydney. I think I got ahead of myself. It's Illawarra Hawks against Sydney. I think actually in the game coming up, the Sydney Kings. All right, I'm letting a few more people come in here as well. And let's get it going with the crew here. Wow, Lex, that's awesome. That's a lot of Jack in the Box runs there, Lex, in the chat. Remember, one thing I always liked, we have a tradition actually is getting Jack in the Box tacos on Christmas because not too many places are open. But you go there and get about a dozen of them for just a few dollars. Well, nowadays about $10 probably, but. All right, check it out over at Tony'sPicks.com. We got our NFL and NBA best bets up there from the crew, and I'll have props. I'm going to go heavy in the props in the NFL tomorrow on our 3 games. So check it out over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, we're going to start the proceedings here with our action here for Thursday, and why not? Getting ready here for not only the Thursday night action, but more great football action here this weekend. Don't forget with college football on Friday and Saturday as well. With it's a big bowl game day. You have the 2 NFL, but might as well throw in 8 bowl games there because we couldn't have a game, extra games here. All right, let's go to the NFL, though, and get it started with the proceedings here. And you guys are welcome to comment in the chat as well. Hello to Ziggy. Thank you, Ziggy. Merry Christmas to everybody from me here and everyone at Tony's Picks. All right. Well, it's a good holiday battle. I've seen this game on Thanksgiving before. Well, when I went, it was still the Cowboys and the Redskins, but now it's a Christmas game. And look, maybe, just maybe, the NFL got what it didn't wish for, trying to bring, we've had Christmas games now here for a few years, but everyone's kind of saying, hey, you're barging in on the NBA and their territory with the Christmas Day games. And, well, maybe the NFL, a little bit of punishment there because we got 3 games that, while we do have, some contending teams here playing, these 2 aren't going anywhere, and maybe the games just aren't as attractive. Maybe the NBA is. Maybe we should have started with the NBA, but let's get into it with this one here with the Cowboys taking on the Commanders here. NFL action for Thursday early in Washington. And we'll preview this one with the Cowboys here favored by 8.5, maybe 9 here right now. Cowboys knocked out of contention last week. So they're 6-8-1. Coming into this one. So I think the thing, there is to be favored by this much. Now, here's the story with our NFL action right here on Thanksgiving. Christmas is who are Josh Johnson, Max Brosmer, and Chris Oladokun. Because those are your quarterbacks in 3 of these games. So, might be a hard watch, but it's the NFL after all. So, Josh Johnson out of the University of San Diego. We've seen Phillip Rivers. We've seen Aaron Rodgers this year. We've seen Joe Flacco. Josh Johnson's almost a member of the Senior Citizen Club as well. This man has played for he's played for more than half the teams in the league, I think, in his career, or at least spent some time with him. This guy, you can pull him out of anywhere to make a start here these days. And hey, you know what? He's a serviceable quarterback. I don't want to maybe lump him in there with some of the younger quarterbacks that might get thrown to the wolves a little bit. Josh Johnson's 39 years old and has not had a start here, to be fair, in I think 4 seasons right now. And in his career, he's just 1-8 as a starter. He's been in plenty of games in his career, but not always as a starter. Just his 10th career start. The Commanders are 1-9 straight up and 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. So yeah, it's going to be something to consider. But Dallas has still lost 3 in a row as well right now, coming in as they faded down the stretch, losing to Detroit, Minnesota, and the Clippers pretty much when their backs were to the wall. It just didn't go their way in the end. Dallas is just 2-6 against the spread as a favorite this season. Washington, they haven't been great either as an underdog, 3-9, but 3-4 against the spread at home. If you're trying to sell me on something here, the first meeting was 44-22. Dallas romped back on October the 19th as a 1.5 point favorite. The Commanders have been giving the ball away like nobody's business here of late. Last 10 games, turnover margin of -12. Washington, 13-20 against the spread. Their last 33 games off of a loss, and Washington just 5-8 against the spread in their last 13 division home games. Dallas has won 7 of the last 9 in the series. Cowboys have also won and covered 3 of their last 4 trips here into FedEx. Over is scored in 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams, but man, that's a pretty high total here, 50.5. If you got to have the Commanders participate a little bit in the scoring here. We know Dallas has a off the charts offense at times this season, but will the motivation be there to have a extremely productive game, given the fact that their season is over here, and you don't want to have a Dak out there getting hurt or anything, but hey, still going to roll here one more time with Dak. He's having a great season. This Washington defense is pretty dreadful for sure. And you do have, for Washington, some offensive talent in there for sure with Terry McLaurin, Debo in there looking pretty good here of late. Even Treylon Burks was getting in there a little bit with the receptions last game. Now, they're a little bit banged up, are the Commanders at tight end right now, getting a little thin with Ertz long been out at this point. But Jake Ferguson and Cowboys here, lots of good offense from these guys can take advantage, it feels like, of Washington here. But come on, to win by double digits in this game, are they really going to come out here and really scorch the Commanders in this one? And, basically a game that doesn't mean anything. Certainly a great matchup for these guys. You got to love the matchup for Javonte Williams today. I think Javonte can be the big man for Dallas. Wasn't too good in that game against the Chargers, and he's had a little bit of a neck injury here coming in, but man, I think everybody's talking about Javonte ready to have a pretty big game. You guys already mentioned the chat, CeeDee Lamb and Will Pickens show up. Is he the guy that kind of shows up like last game when the season is pretty much over? He had a pretty monster game there against the Chargers last game out. Flournoy is questionable here, but again, he's kind of been the guy in there when there's been injuries to those starters, even though he's had obviously the some big games. No Quinnen Williams, or he is questionable for this game. You got to wonder with his concussion as well. He is on the injured list as well here, and lots of guys out, of course, for Washington as well. So see what you have in the chat in this one if you want to comment and make a pick here with Dallas and Washington in this one on Thursday. I really wonder about Dallas. Will they care enough to get a double-digit win here in this one, as bad as they've been? All right, here we go. We got a few comments from the chat. How about Timmy says he likes Dak to have a big day here. 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. Commanders, a third string quarterback here. Yeah. Well, like I said, Josh Johnson, he knows what he's doing out there. That's for sure. They're not bringing in some 24-year-old rookie who might. Josh Johnson is a calculated quarterback. Like I said, just one career victory, but I like him. I'm not going to tell you he's going to go up there and set the world ablaze, but Ziggy here likes the under in this one. And Zach could Merry Christmas to Zach and everyone in the chat. All right. And let's see here. Maybe Timmy likes McLaurin. 50 receiving yards there. It'll be a boring game and they'll take it easy, said Zach. Oh, man. I was thinking it might be kind of I was, questioning the Washington offense a little bit, but I don't know. I think they're going to go down swinging here in this one with Josh Johnson. I don't think you have Johnson in there necessarily to be handing the ball off, especially this Commanders run game with Chris Rodriguez in there. I mean, what happened to Bill Merritt this year? I mean, how come he never got going? He actually has had his two best games of the season here over the last two of his better games here, but Chris Rodriguez has kind of taken over here. He had the nice game against Philly last time out. So, all right, let's see that might be it from you guys. Hey, I want to say hello to Jared Cunningham in the chat. Says Cowboys defense out making everybody look good. It's funny because they got the players back. They had a little bit of a surge there late in the season, like they were going to, maybe salvage the season. Maybe they could have gotten a playoff spot. But they kind of went right back into the tank a little bit. There. Dallas has gone over in 5 straight on the road. They've gone over in 5 of their last 6. Washington's gone over in 5 of their last 7, and they've gone over in 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams. So, yeah, it's a high total, but Washington showing dismal numbers here actually of late, 2-8 against the spread, as I said, but Dallas has covered the last 5 meetings between these two teams overall. In fact, last year, Washington in one game, they did get the win at Dallas as a 7-point favorite. Remember how things were going late in the season last year. It ended up being a Dallas cover at home. They were a home underdog in that one. So a little bit tough because Washington isn't getting anything done against the spread, but I just don't know if they'll eventually be able to claim a double-digit victory in this one. I'm going to go ahead and take the Washington Commanders here to get this money. I'll take the 9 points here with Washington and my man Josh Johnson in this game. So give me the Commanders here on Thursday in the early game. All right. Yeah, Timmy says maybe Dak will even be in there full game. You know what? I don't know if there's going to be enough pressure there, right? And Mr. Weskers is here. He said he warned us about those 76ers and the Lakers. Told you he watches those games, everybody. What are you thinking there with that one? I can't even remember back to those games, but I know that we had a pretty smashing day here on that card on Tuesday. We'll get into the NBA in just a bit. All right. Mr. Weskers likes the Cowboys. He says the Commanders are terrible and it's over for them. It's been over for several weeks for the Commanders, but you know what? It's also over for the Cowboys. They're out. So we don't have anybody going into the playoffs from this game. I'll take the Commanders. Okay, now this one has some intrigue, certainly, with the Lions coming in here, taking on the Vikings. And who is Max Brosmer now, the former Minnesota Gophers quarterback, coming into this one? At least for the Lions, they're still breathing. They have right now a 6% chance to make the postseason. If they lose, they're down to a sliver of hope. If they win, they can increase that to about 9 or 10% by the end of the weekend here. They'll find out more, but Detroit comes in here 8-7. Minnesota's only 7-8, but they're out of the postseason because of that record, even though they've won 3 straight games. Oh, I can feel it coming. Uh, Vikings have won 3 straight games coming in here, but this time it's going to be Max Brosmer in here at quarterback. Minnesota's just 2-4 against the spread at home this season. They've been able to cover a few games here of late. Uh, uh, 6 of their last 10. The Lions are 6-4 against the spread as a favorite. And they come in here, however, just 4-6 straight up after a 4-1 start to the season. Detroit's been allowing a lot of points as well right now, allowing in their last 4 games almost 33 points coming in. Detroit as a road favorite, 13-2 against the spread in their last 15 games in this role. And not only that, we know how tough Detroit is off of a loss, although they were coming off of a loss last game and lost to the Steelers, remember, 29-24. And that was a 7.5 point favorite at home. So now you got to lay it on the road against this Vikings team that, well, they put a little bit of a streak together. I mean, they beat Washington 31-0. They beat Dallas 34-26 on the road, and well, they beat the Giants 16-13, but did lose McCarthy, who will be out of this game. It'll be the second start here for Brosmer. He did lose a game earlier this season. Last 3 games, Vikings, like I said, they've had a good run here and scored 81 points in the last 3 games combined. The Vikings are 16-8-1. Their last 25 games coming in off of a win, although just 3-7 at home in division games here at home in their last 10, 3-7 ATS. They've held 4 of their last 5 opponents to under 300 yards. The Vikings won in Detroit 27-24 as an 8-point dog at Detroit back in week 9. Detroit had won the previous 4 meetings in the series. The Lions won here in their last 2 trips to Minnesota, 31-29 and 30-24. The over has come in 10 of the last 12 meetings between these 2 teams, and this total has been dropping rapidly pretty much ever since they announced that Brosmer would be in there instead of McCarthy. But still, like I said, this is kind of an over series here. The Vikings know that the Lions have to be desperate coming in. They have to win and then need a ton of help. It does feel like there are only a miracle will save them and get them into the postseason, but at least they're still alive, trying to catch the Packers here at the bottom of the standings. So, all right, you guys can comment too here in this one between the Vikings and the Lions here. The Lions, like I said, pretty good. They're all it's a given, right? Lions off of a loss with Campbell. They always get it done, but they didn't last game against the Steelers. They were desperate. So can they cover here, though? 7.5 on the road. Unlike the last game with a road favorite, the Lions have that true motivation of being alive here for the postseason, despite the fact that Detroit's failed to cover the spread now in 5 of their last 6 games. They have gone over in 5 straight games as well. Vikings are going under big time here of late. 6 of their last 7 have gone under, and 10 of their last 15 games at home have gone under. The Lions have covered 9 of the last 10 meetings between these 2 teams. So, look, that spread's gone up. The total's gone down. I think the Vikings are going to be able to get this one, maybe even cover this number on the road. Let's see. We got comments from the chat here on Thursday. Merry Christmas. Ken Mizrahi here in the chat. Nice to have Kenny with us. And Mr. Wesco, he's got the Lions here in an extendo. Ziggy likes the over here. Ken says they're going to wallop them in this one. And Timmy Tushu says he's got Amon-Ra to get that touchdown. All right. Zach says it's got to be the Lions. It's do or die for them. And, we are laying a little bit of tax here. I mean, this one did open as low as, uh, well, I'll call it 6 because once the line got reissued with Brosner in there. But back before the, when it looked like it could have been McCarthy and this was a, Christmas Day game. So this one actually had an open line a little bit longer, if you know what I mean. This line has been up on the board, so it was 3.5, but Lions by 3.5 at one point. But now we're seeing a bigger spread, of course, and maybe Tisla will get the touchdown today, says Timmy Tushu, with Goff's new favorite receiver. And Cal Dog is here. How about Timmy says CD, St. Brown? This got to be an over if that happens, doesn't it? Oh, he's got a hot basketball play in there too. All right. And Ziggy says, we've seen before must-win teams not be able to cover some spreads. And like I said, the Vikings are doing a very nice job here, but I think it's too much to overcome. With the Vikings having the full motivation here, right now at least. And not only that, pretty healthy team, it seems like right now. It's still a tough matchup. I mean, Minnesota has definitely had a very established defense this year. And looking at the injury report, I know you guys are on St. Brown there. I mean, he is on the was on the injury report this week. He is now probable, but still is a little bit hampered by a knee injury. And you know what? The Vikings injury, the Lions injuries have been pretty noticeable this season. I do think it's one of the factors that have cost them this season. Jordan Mason also out here for Minnesota. They're missing guys as well, left and right, it seems like. So, all right. And Campbell's going to take care of McCarty all night long. Of course, McCarty is, I think he means J.J. McCarthy is what Mr. Weskers is saying, but of course we know that McCarthy's not in the game. Lando is here. He says Gibbs over 25.5 receiving yards. I hope he does have a good game. I kind of rolled with Gibbs last week. I know he eventually got near his numbers, but it wasn't a great game. And Montgomery, of course, he's been a little bit under the weather. Montgomery just had his worst game of the season pretty much last time out. So we'll see if those guys can get on track and en route. And of course, don't forget Jameson Williams in there. He's had several good games of late. I think he's one that people are going to be overlooking here a little bit for the Lions. It's not an easy matchup, but again, I think the Minnesota defense might be a little bit out of gas as well. Brosmer's got a good matchup if he can find his receivers. Jefferson and Addison, the numbers are a little high. I'd look for Jalen Naylor. That's who's been kind of hot here, but he did have an air ball last game, and we'll see if he can bounce back a little bit here with this one. All right. And I think that's it for this one. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions to get that number here. You got to get to 8 though now. That makes it a little bit tough, so I'll make it my selection here on the show. I'll still take the Lions here in this must-win game. All right, and thanks to the comments in the chat. All right, now a big black cloud hanging over this one a little bit with the Chiefs out of the postseason and out of quarterback basically with the Chiefs. You got Chris Oladokun here getting his first NFL start now. Look, for Oladokun here, might be the most unheard of quarterback out of all the backups here, or the third string quarterbacks in the league, but Division II success in his career. So, he was known as a gunslinger, certainly back in college. The Broncos, meanwhile, they had their 11-game winning streak snapped last week. It does seem like that would make a team pretty hungry that's as good as the Denver Broncos. And not only that, the Chiefs earlier this week announced that they're moving. They're moving to Kansas. Make no mistake, they're done at Arrowhead. I don't think anything's going to be able to save this situation, as they've announced the move to Kansas in 2031. Once they build their dome stadium, and the Broncos, they do have a dome stadium as well on their agenda by 2031. I mean, they just built that Denver stadium, I don't know now, it's probably been 20 years, but they're also getting a dome stadium. All the AFC West teams, the beautiful West, are all going to be in dome stadiums by 2030. Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Kansas City, and Denver. I guess they all need domes nowadays. Here, Chargers don't have their own stadium. They play in the Rams stadium, but you get what I mean. The Chiefs have lost 4 games in a row, are out of the playoffs for the first time in 11 years. So Oladokun did play last week. He was 11 of 16 for 111 yards. But the Chiefs here, just 18 and 28 in their last 46 games against the spread off of a loss. The Chiefs have gone under in basically 7 of their last 8 games here right now. And the Broncos, meanwhile, have gone over in 4 straight. This total's dropped as well, with maybe some chilly conditions out there expected here in Kansas City this week. Right now, 60 degree. Oh, should be fine. But hey, still got to go up against that number 1 Broncos run defense here. It's got to make it a little bit tough, man. They're not going to be able to get anywhere on these guys, it feels like. And also that pass game too. Man, the Chiefs are going to be hard pressed to find the end zone maybe in this one. Still, the Broncos continue to look pretty decent on offense with Bo Nix, and should be a great matchup with Sutton and Franklin here. But 14 points against Oladokun? Maybe they will get there. Let's see if you like it in the chat here. I'd look to Sutton. I've looked to Franklin. I think they're the top players to look at in this game. And can Travis Kelce have a final hurrah here on Christmas? Go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Denver just 2-8 against the spread. Their last 10 as a road favorite. 0-4 against the spread this season. They're tempting you here with 2 touchdowns. The underdog has come home in the last 7 Broncos games. They were the underdog a couple of times in there, although they were favored most of them. It's been the underdog in Broncos games here of late. The Raiders covered against them. The Commanders covered against them. Of course, the Jags covered their game there. Remember, Denver was actually, I guess Denver was the dog in that one, so maybe that streak came to an end a little bit. But that was at home too, so not on the road. Okay, I'll look at the comments here in the chat, see what you got here. Can Denver get a over 2 touchdown victory against a Chiefs team totally limping to the finish here in this one? All right. Ziggy likes the Chiefs against the spread in this one and the under. Let's see here. And Lex says here, like I said, moving this team unbelievably after all those years in that stadium, but turns out, a lot of these cities are going to balk here. You get a lot of criticism now because there's just no city winning. Any city that's been, taking their money and putting it in stadiums are definitely hurting their overall budgets to do things like paved streets and stuff like that. You can't be giving away $2 billion and expect to be able to supply infrastructure. Just crazy what these cities are thinking a little bit. Obviously, Kansas City, Missouri said we've had enough. All right, Cal says I don't trust the points. I don't know if I do either. Denver should rock here for sure. All right, Andy Reid smashing those cheeseburgers, but his mustache is impeccable. Harvey over 56.5 rushing yards. All right. Denver's gone over in 4 of their last 5. Denver's also covered 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams, and Kansas City's failed to cover in 7 straight. 5 straight meetings between these two teams in Kansas City have gone under, and we're seeing it just overwhelming here. Denver may get all the points themselves. I'm actually going to take the over in this one with Denver and Kansas City, but I think it could be all Denver points here. Yeah, Kansas City gets on the board with 2 touchdowns there. Look, if Kansas City gets 2 touchdowns, it's going over. Kansas City gets 2 touchdowns, they might also cover. I mean, 28-14 isn't over. Is Kansas City going to get 2 touchdowns? Maybe not so. All right, I guess that's doing it. Thank you in the chat, everyone. Enjoy the NFL games here on Thursday. All right, Christmas and the NBA used to be synonymous and the only thing in town, but they'll take center stage here. 5 good matchups for us on Christmas. If anything, this might be I don't want to say the one of least interest, but the way the Knicks are playing right now, I know the Thunder spread is big, but you still have 2 top teams there with the Spurs and the Thunder. So let's look at this one here with the Cavs taking on the Knicks. Cavs have won 2 straight coming in right now with wins over Charlotte and New Orleans. Who you got to beat those teams, right? Actually, they've been heading downhill until they got to play those 2 soft teams. They had been struggling of late. Still at Cleveland, a team that's 17-14 overall and 9-22 against the spread. Just their 3rd time as an underdog this season. They're 1-2 ATS. Cleveland's 4-8 against the spread on the road. The New York Knicks are the best spread team at home in the league at 14-3 right now. Also 17-9 against the spread as a favorite. I mean, if you can cover numbers as a favorite, I mean, that's pretty impressive for sure. Total here is starting to climb even just a little bit more right now at 240 here. You have a Cleveland team right now that's gone 8-4 to the over on the road. The Knicks, meanwhile, are 10-7 to the over at home coming into this one, ironically enough. Cleveland has failed to cover in 6 of their last 7 games overall, but they have covered 4 out of the last 5 meetings against the Knicks. In fact, they've won 4 out of the last 5 meetings against the Knicks. The last one, though, was a Knicks win, 119-111 at home. The Knicks were actually a 1.5-point dog in that one back in October. The Knicks are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games, despite all those positive spread trends. They were on a bit of a road trip and failed to cover at Minnesota last time out. In fact, they failed to cover 4 straight. The under has come in 11 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams. It's just that right now the teams are kind of trending over, but that's a pretty serious trend for 2 semi-frequent opponents like the Cavaliers and the Knicks. Knicks have gone over in 4 of their last 6. The Cavs have gone over in 4 of their last 6 as well. We'll go to the chat and see what you have here as we get things started at 12:10 Eastern, 9:10 Pacific with the Cavs and the Knicks here on Thursday. Ziggy's got the Knicks against the spread. And Cal Dog says he'll take the Knicks, take it down to 4 points, make sure. Lex says take the Cavs. And Zach liking the Knicks here in this one. Timmy Tushu says Hart to rack up the 3s. Yeah, I still got to take the Knicks right now. Best home cover team in the league. And look, while you wonder when are the Cavs going to start to get it going here? When, they've worked their way back to 500. They got to work hard here to make sure they get in the playoffs. They got to get things going here, and they're just not covering spreads. Now, good news, Evan Mobley, he is questionable. He's targeting, it seems almost positive news here that Mobley could make the lineup. For some people, that might be the difference maker between these two. Now, Brunson is back in. OG is back in after missing the last game. So, can the Cavs here getting the points against the Knicks on Christmas? All right, let's see here. Ken says he likes the over in this one. Yeah, it's going to be, like I said, that is you look at where they are. These two teams kind of trend over, but man, 11 of 13 in the series under. This is a pretty regular series. We know that. That last one did sneak over actually by half a point. Mr. Weskers likes the Cavs. He says they're going to get up for this one. All right, I hope so because they haven't gotten up for much this year. They've been, quite frankly, maybe considering they're a 500 team, they've got to be the worst, one of the biggest disappointments to bettors this year. Okay, I'll take the Knicks. So will Timmy. We'll get rolling with this one. All right, the San Antonio Spurs are taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I guess the odds makers haven't been watching the series between these two. The Thunder, the Spurs are the only team to figure the Thunder out. They've won 3 of the last 4 meetings against these guys, including 2 straight here within the last 2 weeks or so. The Spurs have won the game. They won in San Antonio just the other day, 130 to 110. And they won at OKC here, 111 to 109. Now, you could easily say that the greatest team going, the Thunder, is about to lay one on them here in double revenge. But this is still Christmas, and the Spurs are one of the best teams in the league. That's unquestionable right now. Coming in 22-7. Technically, if you think about it, they're only 3.5 games back of the Thunder, despite the incredible season they've had. They've been on fire here of late. Spurs look absolutely terrific, actually, and they're joy to watch. They've covered 5 of their last 7. They've won 7 of their last 8. They've covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. No doubt, Oklahoma City undefeated at home, of course, just 6-3 against the spread in their last 9, 9-6 against the spread at home. For that San Antonio, a great success. They are just an okay spread team. They're actually under 500 against the spread on the road at 7-9, although they're 8-4 against the spread as an underdog. The Thunder are just 16-14 against the spread this season, it should be noted. 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. San Antonio's gone under in 4 of their last 6 games, but they've gone over in 10 of the 17 road games this season and over in 7 of 12 games as a dog. So could be big time revenge. Maybe the Thunder's about ready to lay one out on them after losing twice. But again, I would argue that the Spurs are just a darn good team, and they know that this I think it's become a rivalry, is what I'm going to say here. And I believe I'm going to be taking the San Antonio Spurs to cover again against these guys. Look, they won the last 2. They don't have to win. I mean, they want to win. I'm not saying they don't have to win the game. Of course, they want to win this one. But 9.5 points. They could still lose this game to the Thunder, and the Thunder do their little post-game interview with everybody gathering around, and they won by 8 or something like that. Anyway, so I still am going to take the Spurs. I'm not saying figured them out. I just think they have the right matchup. They just match up well against them. Mr. Westers, though, he thinks the Thunder to rock here in this one. Ziggy might be going under here, actually. And Spurs cover, Thunder win, says Cal Dog. Kind of what I was thinking with Cal Dog. Timmy says OKC is going to take care of business here right now. And Zach will take the points as well, and he'll parlay it up with New York and OKC. He's going to roll a little parlay. All right. Hey, Timmy says Oklahoma City will cover the first half, then cover the six. All right, and I'm going to take the Spurs. Like I said, I just think they have a great matchup against them. I think they know that this is kind of their rival, and even though it comes down to, yeah, it was. Oh, you're right. Good point. Good point. There was the NBA Cup game there between the two teams. Okay, great, Lex. All right, let's move to the next one here, and we're getting into the nighttime hours. 5:10 Eastern and 2:10 Pacific. Here we go. All right, the Mavericks are going to take on the Warriors here in this one, and man, was Cooper Flag looking good that last? I mean, I think we see the inconsistency with Flag a little bit, but don't worry. I mean, that's going to happen, I guess, for a rookie like this. Dallas comes in here 14-8 as an uh, uh, underdog right now. They're 7.5 point underdogs to the Warriors. The Warriors look like a team. Might be having these issues still. You saw the last game. I mean, look, I can only get on Draymond's case so often, right? But here it is again, the little spoiled brat walking off the bench. I mean, no one acts like this 4-year-old child, Draymond Green. What a loser this guy is. Even Steve Kerr has to cover it up and basically accept the blame there for his out of control player in the post game press conference. But it's just how much can you really take, right? I mean, how is this guy even in the league? What a bozo the clown this goon is. Warriors here, an 8.5 point favorite, total 228.5 here between these two. Dallas has covered 8 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams overall, although they've lost 7 of the last 9 in this series to them. The Warriors are 1-5 against the spread, their last 6 at home, 1-4 against the spread, their last 5 overall. Dallas has gone over in 6 of their last 8 games. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under in this series right now. Golden State, Dallas has gone over here in 7 of its last 10. Warriors are over in 12 of their last 18 games coming into this one. So we'll see what you have. This one kind of goes under there frequently, but we'll see here in this one. I have a feeling this one might be a higher scoring game. These two teams have not yet met this season, but Dallas has won 2 of the last 3 meetings overall. They even won here last year on December 15th, 143-133. And of course, with this matchup, you got to look at the injury report for sure. With these guys, you've got PJ Washington questionable, Lively still out, but those short-term injuries are ready to go. Even Clay is going to play in this one, and I'd imagine with it being Christmas, they'll be giving special attention to Clay, the Warriors, and their fans a little bit. Seth Curry is out. Big Al's probable. Cryer is out. Mavericks probably going to win this game. I think, gang. I'm definitely willing to take the points here with Dallas. I think they're going to be live here to pull off the upset. It was funny to hear what Kerr had to say when pressed about the issue. He said, "Look, everyone knows we're an aging dynasty here." It's basically, he said it point blank, right? And I think we know it. And when you have maybe the Mavericks here at least a little bit healthier here right now, and I don't have any problem with this team. They're going to come back, I think, a little bit. 12-19 right now. I don't know if they can get to the playoffs from here. We've still got 50 games to go, a long way. But I just feel like if they can keep Davis healthy in there and the growth of Flag, that this team can make a little bit of a push. They have gone just 3-9 straight up on the road this season. The Warriors are 9-4 straight up at home. So, yeah, Timmy, it's Seth Curry that's out, however. Steph Curry is expected to play, of course, in this one. All right. And right, Mr. Weskers, you can't pay this team's a disaster, Mr. Weskers. You know it. All right, Dre, right, Mr. Weskers. I mean, this guy is out of control. Over, no defense. They're going to be running and gunning here with these two. And Zach will take the Mavs here. And Timmy says Curry going to light it up. And Mr. Wesker's taking the Warriors there against the spread, though. Ziggy will take the Mavs against the spread. Mr. Weskers says Mavs first quarter. You're gonna take Draymond to get an ejection again. He was probably not suspended, but man, wouldn't you suspend a guy for walking off the bench? I mean, the conduct detrimental to the team. I guess he's above that by now after in his career. All right. And hey, Jamal Giuseppe Curry gonna light it up here on Christmas. I gotta take the Mavericks in this one. Maybe they'll win in dramatic fashion with a Curry bomb. But I'm gonna take the Mavs in this game for sure. All right, here come the Rockets. They're favored on the road here against the Lakers in this one. I know they're good, but man, come on. The Lakers here, Reeves is getting back here healthy. You're going to have a healthy, or at least, Luka's back in the lineup right now. But Sengun is questionable here for Houston. That one looks more like there could be maybe a little question whether Sengun can actually make the lineup here. He's questionable. I think he's kind of trending in, but it does seem like it is a little bit of a significant calf injury for Sengun. Tate is questionable. DFS is questionable here. Jackson Hayes questionable for the Lakers, but Reeves is back in, looking good. Hachimura is probable. Vincent's been out now for a week or so. And the Lakers are underdogs here at home against the Rockets. Both teams have lost a couple in a row here. Houston's actually had some troubles here of late. The only team they beat is Denver here, but that was in revenge. They also lost to New Orleans. They lost to Sacramento. They're on a long road trip here over Christmas. They haven't been home yet. They've been on the road for over 10 days here, and they're spending Christmas on the road, and that's not, maybe they could bond over it a little bit, but the Lakers here haven't been great. I mean, they've failed to cover in 3 straight, losing to the Clippers and Phoenix as well. They've been on the road, though, and return home. LeBron, he kind of, makes Christmas his thing a little bit, actually. And I don't know, a healthy Lakers team maybe has a little bit more attraction to me than actually laying it on the road with I don't want to call them a tired Rockets team, but again, this has been a lengthy road trip here, and you're spending Christmas on the road here, overnight here, if you will. So Lakers here, never forget, they are 11-0 to the over at home so far this season. The Rockets are 12-5 to the over on the road. These two teams are combined 36-19 to the over here so far this season. Lakers have actually gone over in 9 of their last 12 overall. They're 10-3 to the over as an underdog. Rockets just 1-6 against the spread. Their last 7, 1-4 against the Lakers in their last 5 games overall. Lakers have gone just 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games coming in. So I'm going to take the over in this one, but man, I think the public might be Rockets here. I don't know. Let's see what you have, but I'm going to take the over. I mean, Lakers have been 11-0 to the over at home. Okay, let's see what you got here. This isn't a total over series of late. The two teams did play an under here last year, but this is the first meeting of the season between these two right now. We'll go to the chat and see what you got. You're going to be Mr. Wester's liking the Rockets. Ziggy likes the under, though, here possibly. Cal Dog on Houston. And Timmy says, got to be the Rockets. LA is sad. Oh, man, that's Zach's on the Lakers here. Jamal liking the Lakers here as well. I like, probably liking the Lakers plus the points. If the Rockets were getting the points, I might be on them. All right, and let's see. And Dingo Lex says also ESPN has Curry out. I mean, I haven't heard anything about Steph Curry missing this game. That's for sure. Rockets couldn't cover against the Clippers, of course, even. All right. Hey, I got to take the over in this one, man. The Lakers are playing these track meets here right now with Reeves back in. This one's going to be a fun one to go. Where's the 240 in this one? Right? I mean, doesn't seem to make as much sense. I mean, yeah, the Rockets got a great defense, no doubt about it. I'm sure that's why it's down here a little bit, but come on. I'm going over. And finally, sip your last eggnog here with the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. And a great one here to cap it off. Timberwolves coming in on a 3-game winning streak. Of course, you remember they beat Oklahoma City here recently as part of this winning streak. They also beat Milwaukee and they beat the Knicks here, but they were at home for a pretty long homestand. Now they got to go on the road here, taking on the Nuggets. Right now, Nuggets have lost 2 of their last 3. They're 21-8. The Wolves are 21-10 coming into this one. Denver 15-10 against the spread as a favorite. Even though the Minnesota Timberwolves have been kind of a loser to the spread this season, they are 3-3 ATS as a dog. Denver's gone over in 17 of 25 games as a favorite this season. They've also gone over in 9 of 14 at home. Minnesota's gone over in 8 of 13 on the road, although they have been trending under here of late. Let's see what you guys have here in this one, our final game of the night. The Wolves have covered 4 of their last 6 games overall. They've also won 6 of the last 8 matchups with Denver overall. Minnesota's gone under in 5 straight games, but Denver's gone over in 11 of their last 14 overall. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Denver's covered 4 of their last 6 coming in, but so have the Wolves. Let's see here what you guys do with this one. Minnesota and Denver here on Christmas night. Go to the chat, and then the show will be over. Thank you, everybody. Nice to spend an hour with you here on Night Moves, Christmas morning. Merry Christmas, everyone. All right, here we go. Mr. Wesker is going to take the Nuggets here in this one. And Ziggy going over with these two. And the Wolves will compete against Denver. Zach likes the Wolves here. Cal Dog liking the Nuggets. And Mr. Wesker said, well, you know what? It's Minnesota's, even back in the day, I mean, it's kind of the dividing line. It's kind of like the Mississippi River a little bit, right? I mean, we think of the West and, if you divide it down, but the heavy concentration of the population, I don't know what else to say, Mr. Wesker. Just making stuff up, spending some time with you guys here on Christmas. Jamal to go nuts. And maybe the Wolves, maybe Ant goes off here as well. All right, should be great, man. Great night of sports here. I show the spread there. It's actually been moving here a little bit. Let me fix this line, you guys. We're seeing movement here late tonight, and want to just update it here right now. It's actually going to call it. I'm going to call it 2. We're seeing some significant movement right at this hour. Actually, I'm showing Bovada right now has actually moved to 1.5 minus 115. Although Circa still seems to be hanging on to a 3 right now. Probably should just check the app. South Point here is at 2. So we're seeing movement here at this late hour in this. Oops. Oh gosh, I've lost some game here. I'm showing yesterday's games. I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets. It feels like a discount here now. Give me the Nugs here on Night Moves. I'll take the Nuggets to cover this a little bit of a discount and just not moving it down to make it. You can call it 2.5 if you want with me here. But like I said, we're seeing some movement offshore right now for sure. Money coming in on Minnesota. Thank you, Michael Piccioni, in the chat. Thank you, man. Merry Christmas to you and to everyone out there. And Jamal says, Ant-Man's rolls here. What will they be? No, I think he means Ant-Man to roll there. And Lex says it's Merry Supness. It's Melekaliki Maka for the Rainbows there last night. And happy Hanukkah as well to those of you and all the others as well. Thanks for joining me here on Night Moves. Man, we had 50 people coming in to visit with me. My fam, this is my fam right here on the internet. I have a very active social life on the internet. Hey, go over to Tony'sPicks.com, use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15%. We're going to be loaded up. I'm going to be loaded up tomorrow. I'm ready to go. I've got my props written down here. Just got to enter them in to the computer. I'm going to be going heavy in the props tomorrow. That's the one great thing about there it is. Look, Cal Dog said it's 2 on Bovada now. It's moving there. So just a look ahead here, right, with the games on Thursday. So really appreciate it. And we'll have all the handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15%. Look at all the guys are all loaded up. But I will say this. Like I said, I'll be heavy in the props tomorrow. And see if there's anybody with the props. Yeah, look at all these handicappers. I mean, there is no site really. I mean, there are some, and maybe they're manually entered, whatever. There's no site like Tony'sPicks.com as far as the props are concerned. I mean, it really is on the multi-capper sites, the only site really doing it like this. Tony told me, it feels like 4 years ago now when I first met him, Ramon, we're going to have this site one day. We're going to have props. The site has never run any better than it is right now. Tony, if you're out there and your and the team here, the site running terrific and looking great. And look at how the props kind of line up there as well with our experts. So check it out over at Tony'sPicks.com. He was right. He said one day we'd have props, and they come in real nice there. Okay, that's going to do it for Night Moves. Thank you so much, everybody, for spending your time with me here an hour on Christmas morning. I hope you guys are getting all your gifts ready for the kids, or getting your food ready for the relatives coming over. And I hope everyone has a great day with the sports. I mean, look, they kind of give a complaint there that the NFL games are overlapping the NBA game. That's fine on Christmas. What if one's a blowout, tune to the other one? Get your 2 TVs set up. We don't have enough sports. Where were the sports on Christmas Eve? There should be more sports on Christmas Eve, but we want everyone to spend time with their families as well. So, and I want to spend time with you guys. So thank you so much, especially here. Just the last few moments with you guys. I just want to thank everybody for joining me over the last few months on this new show. And of course, throughout the years here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Like I said, I feel like I've been hanging out here for 4 years right now with Tony on this site. So really do appreciate them as well, and all the cappers here at Tony'sPicks.com. Really appreciate all the work they put in to make it look like a real team effort here with us here at Tony'sPicks.com and the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 50,000 subscriber juggernaut. Like and subscribe, share it and smash it. I'll be back tomorrow with more Night Moves. We're getting ready for we're back in action a little bit on Friday, and then a big day on Saturday. So please check us out here at Tony'sPicks.com. For the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, Merry Christmas from me and the crew. For Tony's Picks, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.